The Dilletante, from Recognizing Blues by Herman Bosman. Every morning on my way to the office, I found him standing in front of the library, waiting for the doors to open. His lofty intellectual brow increased the general rigidity of his ascetic countenance, while that faraway gaze in his steel blue eyes showed how distant from the mundane matters his thoughts were. At night, on my return, I noticed that he was always the last to leave the library, and I observed that occasionally there was a wistful, half-regretful look on his face, while at other times his countenance bore an expression of mild complacency, even of benignity and broad philanthropy. But in the morning there was no mistake about that strenuous eagerness which pervaded his features, which even showed through that look of intense absorption as he stood on the pavement, waiting for the library doors to open. Each day, when I went to the office, he was waiting on the pavement. Each day, when I returned, the library doors were just being locked behind him, until, having indulged in much speculation to no purpose, I determined to once and for all solve the problem as to which were the books that so irresistibly drew this intellectual giant to the library. He was already waiting on the pavement the following morning when I arrived, intent on finding a solution to the puzzle. As soon as the doors swung open, he rushed in, while I followed some distance in his wake. Having arrived at the reference department, he went up to a shelf, took down a book, and with a sigh of placid contentment plunged into chapter 34 of the 17th volume of The Inner Secrets of Betty's Boudoir. Following his example, I likewise took down a volume and commenced reading. And in the blissful days that followed, I was the first to arrive on the pavement, impatiently tapping the curb with my foot, waiting for the library doors to open.